right, welcome back. Now, I know that I started this off by saying that I had a very rough week last week, considering that I had my cold, and as you guys all know, getting sick, no matter what it just sucks in general, and it's never fun to go and get sick. However, I will say that I know that when it comes to the problems that I had last week, they definitely are nothing compared to what happened to many others. In fact, thousands of others as well. Considering that even though the year has just begun, we did face a massive natural disaster that occurred, specifically in the Los Angeles area. So yes, we are going to be talking about the Los Angeles wildfires. Now, this is not something that I could just go and have a little bit of a quick mention at the beginning of the episode before starting the whole thing. This is something that I personally feel like we need to go and highlight this in full because there is a lot to go and discuss. So, as you may know, last week in Los Angeles, or specifically around the Los Angeles County, there were massive wildfires that occurred that burned down not only acres of lands, but also burned down a lot of residential areas, down to the point where over 100,000 people had to be evacuated from their homes so that they could be safe from the fires. And unfortunately, there have been a few casualties as well. I believe the numbers as I'm recording this is around it's getting close to 20, which it is relatively low for the size of the fires that they are. But then again, the fact that there are casualties in general, it's never fun in the first place. Now, to go into the specifics of where it happened, actually, I'm using my source here on BBC to go and highlight where it occurred. So, of course, the biggest one is in the Palisades area, in which it affected both Malibu and the neighboring region. There was also some over here in Eaton, as well as a little spot in Hearst. And just to go and highlight what happened specifically, I'm just going to go and read you from my source here on BBC. And by the way, it will also mention about the updates on how things are going with the wildfires. There are now 2 active fires in the wider area, while a smaller fire is nearly contained, says California fire officials. The first one is the Palisades, the first fire to erupt a week ago and the biggest in the region. It has scorched 23,713 acres as of Monday, including the upmarket Pacific Palisades neighborhood. It was 14% contained as of Monday. Then there is also Eaton, affecting the northern part of LA, blazing through areas such as Altadena. It is the second biggest fire in the area, burning more than 14,000 acres. It is 33% contained. And then finally, we also have Hearst. Located just north of San Fernando, it began burning last Tuesday night. It has grown to 799 acres and is almost fully contained. So Hearst is almost done, or as you're going to be watching and listening to this, it should be done about now. The earlier Kenneth Archer, Sunset, Lydia, Woodley, and Olivas fires have also been fully contained. So it is still freaky to see that these fires are still going on. But some might be wondering though, what happened? What is the cause of all these massive fires to go and occur? And yeah, California has had fires here and there that have happened, but never this bad to the point that it started to affect residents as well. Well, it's a bit of combining factors. And one thing is for sure is that these fires are not man-made as well. It is just about entirely Mother Nature that caused all this. Now, if there are any human factors into it, well, it's a lot of the negative ones. Most namely, it's because of climate change, in which, right over here, just to read you some parts of it, in which it states, Although strong winds and lack of rain are driving the blazes, experts say climate change is altering the background conditions and increasing the likelihood of such fires. Much of the western United States, including California, experienced a decades-long drought that ended just 2 days ago, making the region vulnerable. Whiplash swings between dry and wet periods in recent years created a massive amount of tinder-dried vegetation that was ready to burn. Climate change, including increased heat, extended drought, and a thirsty atmosphere, has been a key driver in increasing the risk and extent of wildfires in the western United States, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration says. Fire season in Southern California is generally thought to stretch from May to October, but the governor has pointed out earlier that blazes has become a perennial issue. There's no fire season, he says, it's fire year. So there is a combination of these naturalistic factors in there. So it's not just climate change. It's also the factor that there has been massive droughts in Los Angeles and in California in general, where it's very rare that they would get rain. And then suddenly there's also these strong winds as well. And there, admittedly, there is also another human factor that a lot of people have been discussing about is the amount of water that is available. And a lot of it is contributed to apparently this billionaire couple that owns a lot of California's water and refuses to go and actually share. So they're also responsible for some of the disasters that we have seen so far. And that's also another issue that I want to go and immediately address is how there are some things in here that the discussions related to the Los Angeles wildfires that they would go and tumble into something completely different that's not really helping the situation at all. And that's especially the case when you see it from Republicans like Donald Trump and Elon Musk, where they were desperately trying to go and politicize the issue, where they were trying to go and blame on either wokeism or DEI or whatever bull crap. Like they want to blame the existence of minorities apparently is to go and blame, or Donald Trump trying to blame Democrats like Gavin Newsom and, just of course, Democrats in general are to blame for not making things better in California and stuff like that. Like really emphasizing the political factor, but also what pisses me off is just the bigotry factor. Just using a disaster like this, desperately looking for an excuse to go and discriminate the LGBTQ plus community or trans people and stuff like that. And this really does clarify and emphasize how worthless homophobes and transphobes and other bigots are in our society over here. And that honestly, we have nothing to lose if we just criminalize hate speech. That if we separate that from the First Amendment and just make it illegal, we honestly have nothing to lose, especially when bigots like homophobes and transphobes, like as we see with people like Elon Musk and libs of TikTok, they contribute to absolutely nothing to our society. In fact, this is the main reason why it is extremely rare that you see homophobes or transphobes in the military, because they're all spineless cowards. They don't want to actually help people. They just want to hurt people in general. So why don't we just treat them like the illegal criminals that they all frickin' are? But anyways, just wanted to go and, get that out of my system. But anyways, going back to the Los Angeles wildfires, unfortunately, one of the major consequences that has occurred is that not only have there been like over 100,000 people that evacuated, but there have been thousands of people that unfortunately have lost their homes. And there is a good chance that maybe you have seen in the media in which they talked about how a lot of celebrities ended up losing their homes, that you got big name stars like John Goodman, Jamie Lee Curtis, Paris Hilton, and many more, that they ended up losing their homes as well, that, they had their big mansions around those areas, and that because of the big fires, they ended up losing them. But I will say, though, there is a little bit of a funny thing to go and actually mention is that not only did those people lose their homes, but also the ones that are notoriously far right, the ones who have far right extremist values, those people lost their homes as well. most namely James Woods and Mel Gibson. And Mel Gibson is actually, not gonna lie, it's actually a pretty funny one as well, because while his big mansion was actually burning down, he was on Joe Rogan, where he was doing his usual thing of spreading misinformation, where he was talking about these bullcrap drugs that apparently would cure cancer or like heal people from cancer, which is already proven to not be true. And of course, he would be denying climate change. Oh, how ironic that climate change deniers apparently lost their homes to the very thing that they claim do not exist. But anyways, in all seriousness though, I just want to say that regardless of who the big name celebrities are, honestly, I don't really care all that much if they lost their homes, because they're financially rich. They have all the wealth that they can to go and quickly rebuild their lives. In fact, like, these are the kinds of people who have like not just a big house in Los Angeles, like they got several homes across the world. So like, yeah, it sucks that their big Los Angeles house burned down. Well, before, they could go and actually wait, they could go and rebuild that again while they wait in their, like, I don't know, in their New York house or in their London house or something like that. These people, I know for a fact they're going to be fine. They have no trouble whatsoever. But what I want to go and focus, however, is the thousands of other people who you may not know their names, but they lost everything. That because of the fires, they lost their homes entirely, and they pretty much lost their livelihoods in general. Like they pretty much lost everything at that point. And they don't have the financial needs in order to rebuild their lives again. This is exactly why there has been tons, hundreds, thousands of GoFundMe campaigns now in which people are asking for donations in order to rebuild their lives. And sometimes they could be asking for quite a lot. And especially, you got to keep in mind, this is the Los Angeles area. So the cost of living and stuff like that, it can be quite extreme. And I know that with the subject of insurance, that's going to be a whole different subject altogether. I know that California did recently pass a law that insurers are not allowed to deny any claims, or they're not allowed to go and deny any people that need the insurance money, which is good. But then again, like with insurance companies, like that's a whole different conversation and a whole different subject altogether of how they would keep screwing people over, and that eventually the more they keep denying people, the more likely that we're going to see the next Luigi Mangione. But going back to what I was talking about, that's why we've been seeing a lot of these people asking for help. And I understand that at that point, it could be extremely overwhelming. And that, yeah, it's one thing that if you live around the Los Angeles area, you can have a lot of solutions and a lot of different ways that you can actually go and help out, including you can go and actually volunteer for a nonprofit organization to actually go and help out the people of Los Angeles who did lose their homes, who need a lot of help at this point. But if you're someone who's like me and you're not in the Los Angeles area, in fact, you're pretty far from the Los Angeles area, what can you do to actually go and help out? Well, I've done a little bit of research, and I do have a few suggestions of what you can go and actually do. So let me just go and bring up these examples. And here, let me just go and start things off with this one right over here. So the first thing you can do is actually go and donate to the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation. Now, this is the foundation to go and actually help out the firefighters of Los Angeles to go and actually help like grow their equipment, to strengthen their tools so that it makes it easier for them to go and fight against these wildfires or whatever fires that may occur in the Los Angeles area. And I mean, I think it could be a great idea to go and help out firefighters, considering that already they are the top contenders of being considered the heroes of 2025. So that is my first suggestion of what you can do. Then there is another one, which is the California Fire Foundation, in which their foundation is made specifically for this situation right over here. It's not built especially like because of this, but it is made like this is their purpose. It's to go and help out victims of people who lost everything because of fires, rather it be man-made fires or if it's because of wildfires and stuff like that. So they're basically going to go and help out people to get themselves back up on their feet, to get the financial needs that they can, or to go and supply food, water, and shelter while they're trying to recover from the fires that basically took everything from them. So that's another idea. And then there is also the Wildlife Recovery Fund from the California Community Foundation. They're very similar to the California Fire Foundation, in which they would go and have a very similar goal where they would go and help out the victims of fire disasters, and especially in this case is the victims of the Los Angeles wildfires. So they would go and do the same thing in order to ensure that victims can be okay during these very tough times. Or especially, since we are all animation fans over here, if you want to go and specifically help out artists and animators who have been affected by the wildfires, because unfortunately there have been a lot who have, then there is this article, again, from Animation Magazine. It's called Numerous Fundraisers Set Up for Animation Professionals Who Lost Their Homes in the LA Fires. And in this article over here, let me just go and quickly refresh just to make sure if there's any updates. Okay, maybe not. But as you can see here, this is a list of all the different artists and animators in the animation and visual effects industry whom they've lost so much from the fires, and that they've set up their GoFundMe campaigns or PayPal links and stuff like that for them, so that you can go and actually help out. If you want to go and give out a donation to go and help these animators, especially when many of them have actually been involved in many shows and movies that you enjoy. Like one great example, and a name that I do recognize over here, is actually Dave Wasson. So right over here, Dave Wasson, and already you could tell that a lot of people are very much helping him out, already receiving over $50,000 US as I'm recording this on his GoFundMe campaign. But apparently Dave Wasson, you may know as the guy who it says here that he is the cartoon genius behind the Cuphead Show, Time Squad, The Buzz on Maggie, some of your favorite Mickey Mouse shorts, and loads of award-winning commercials, shorts, and movie title sequences. So this is just one of many examples that you could go and help out. And like what you could do is just go into these foundations and you can go and make your donation to go and help out if you cannot go and directly help with the Los Angeles wildfires. So in that regards, I just wanted to go and raise awareness of what's been going on. And also, especially my main goal of what I want to do is to raise awareness of how you can help. Because the most important thing is that, yes, we're very well aware of the fires. We're very well aware of the disasters that's been going on. But the right thing to do at this point is to go and actually help out, to go and make sure that the people of Los Angeles, no matter who they are, that they can go and rebuild their lives and put themselves back in place so that they can continue their lives. Because honestly, with what happened, it really is devastating. You know, it really is heartbreaking to see so many people, and maybe there is a chance that even you watching this, you may know someone who has been affected by this. You know, like the best thing that you could do at this point is to go and help them out. No matter like what you can do it's important to go and actually help, whether it be to donate, to raise awareness, to volunteer. Like, as long as you can go and actually contribute to rebuilding Los Angeles after the wildfire disasters, then maybe we can go and start setting things up to make 2025 a little bit better than how it started. All right, so with that said, now I would like to go into the chat wall, and I would like to ask if there's anything you would like to add or comment about the whole situation, and also if you could think of any additional ways to go and help people out to go and get themselves back up on their feet from the wildfire disasters, please suggest a way. All right, so let's see, what comments do we have here now. Let's see. I want to say thank you for doing this story, Matt. I have family in California. They are okay, thank goodness, because they live somewhere else in California. More than 12,000 buildings have been destroyed, including TV shows and movies that had filming locations, and so far 24 people have died. Oh, 24, jeez. And Matt, it's not just celebrities who lost their homes. They could also lose friends. I heard actress Jennifer Gardner lost a friend in the fires. I will do whatever I can to help those people. Yeah, okay, that is true. I'll give you that. That is also an aspect I didn't really think about, that maybe among those people that passed away are those that are like friends of celebrities and stuff like that. So, okay. That I was not aware. I do apologize. Anyways, what else do we have? Someone mentioned that Disney made the biggest donation so far, with $15 million going towards firemen, first responders, and employees at Walt Disney Imagineering. Yeah, I did hear that at the same time. Yeah, like Disney made the biggest donation so far, which honestly, great for them. And also a few other companies so far have also done donations. And while we don't have the monetizable need to go and match that, if we could go and follow that example to go and actually give out a donation, that honestly, it is good. I believe that Mr. Rogers said it best, that in times like these, it's important to go and look at the people who are helping. If you want to see a bright side in these disasters, look for the people who are helping. And that's why it's also very important that you also become one of those people who are helping. Anyways, let's see now. The effects of these wildfires can be described no better than devastating. It's absolutely heartbreaking to see so many people lose their homes, their livelihoods, even their lives. And to show my condolences, I just donated to the LAFD Foundation. Awesome. Good on you, JF. Let's go. Anyways, it wasn't much, but you know the old saying, every little helps. Also, to all those right-wingers saying that the fires happened because of DEI and wokeism, then please, for the God of society, grow the hell up. Yeah, honestly, I just want to even go and add and say, like, yeah, if you're actually like trying to blame wokeism or DEI, yeah, we'll see when your fire, we'll see when the fires burn your house down, and let's see if you're going to go and think if wokeism and DEI is to blame at that point, Let's see if you're going to still think about wokeism and DEI when your house would go and burn down, if you don't have the mental capacity to even think about having any form of empathy. Anyways, let's see now. I actually do live in the Los Angeles area where the Eaton Fires is located, and this had me stressed out. Thankfully, me and my mom are still here, and that fire is starting to subside. With climate change and how greedy billionaires keeping the majority of our water is just a recipe for disaster, there are so many multiple people who I actually know losing everything, and that I want to help them all. This is a moment where all of us have to work together to pick ourselves up. Stay strong. Exactly. And I mean, if you have, that's actually a good starting point. If you have people that that have been affected by these fires, then a great start would be to go and immediately help them out. Because I'm sure at this point, they'll need any help that they can. And, if you want to show that you really are a friend, or that these people care, if you really do care about these people, then your top priority should be to go and actually help them. Let's see what else we have here. Despite I don't live in the Los Angeles area, but wish to do so to do animation work there some way if the whole thing is taken care of, I feel bad for the people in the Los Angeles area for this unexpected event. I hope the people will, with the fire, people will the fire under control. Oh, the people will keep the fire under control and hope everyone there is all right, especially the artists and animators. Well, at that point, this is exactly why you have this link over here to go and actually help out the animators. Some of them are unfortunately not okay. So that's why you do have all these GoFundMe pages if you want to go and actually, help them out and pick themselves back up on their feet. Let's see what other. I think I'll go with one more comment at this point. So let's see. I'll just I might as well go right over here. So 2025 is not off to a really excellent start. I've been seeing nonstop news about the whole wildfires going on, especially seeing lots of families and recognizable creators and celebrities losing their homes. Last week has been really depressing and devastating, and to our California peeps out there, I'm wishing and praying you all to stay safe during the tough times, especially to the animators there. I'm glad you're spreading awareness about the situation and give us ways to help them. Exactly. So just a quick reminder, once again, if you want to go and help out the people in Los Angeles after the devastating wildfires, you got all these links over here on this Animation Magazine article. You also got the Los Angeles Fire Department Foundation, the California Fire Foundation, and also the Wildfire Recovery Fund from the California Community Foundation. So this is just to go and raise awareness for all this.